Hi everybody, it is me, Corrie Sommers, your local Los Angeles luxury realtor, and today we're going to be talking about the coronavirus, things that can be done for precautionary sake, as well as if this is impacting the real estate market here in Los Angeles. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, if you are here in Southern California, or most specifically Los Angeles County, you are aware that we are on a bit of a lockdown due to the coronavirus. Now, what does this mean? Well, over the weekend, Garcetti decided that movie theaters, entertainment hubs, bars, clubs, restaurant dining in, those sorts of things are now in lockdown to help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Now, restaurants are still for the most part doing carry-out or delivery services. You can always check online for your favorite restaurant to see what their status is. Postmates, Uber Eats, those things are working. And we're limited. We need to limit that social interaction, aka social distancing, because you don't know who might carry, never have symptoms versus those that are highly susceptible, right? The thing is, I keep getting asked, is this going to impact real estate, or is this impacting real estate right now? And so truthfully, I want to share a story with you. Over the weekend, on Saturday, I listed a property. We came to market Saturday, and by Saturday evening, we had a full price offer in hand. So the reality of this situation right now is that when people need to sell, you need to sell. And when buyers are needing to buy, they're going to buy regardless of what's going on. Now, come Sunday, there was a drop in people out at open houses. And that's really to be expected because they've given us this 2-week kind of lockdown going on. Open houses aren't necessarily a dangerous place because, typically there's 1 or 2 people there at any given time. So it's not a lot of traffic. And at the end of the day, there's ways to mitigate exposure. And you might be saying, well, how is that? Obviously, we all can be proactive. If you have a cold, stay home, period. Don't risk it. You could have a regular common cold, allergies, whatever. But if you're coughing, if you're sneezing, stay home. We've had very cold, rainy weather here in Southern California the last 2 weeks, and we've got rain predicted for this week and going into next week. And it's cold. And I know I have to go outside and brave the elements because I have a dog that I've got to get out there a couple times a day. And so it is cold. Don't risk it. If you do have to go out in the cold, wear a scarf, wear a jacket, be appropriate. 60 degrees is cold here in Southern California. 50 something degrees is very cold. So make sure that you're warm, wear gloves, all those sorts of things. Now again, with the restrictions, coronavirus and real estate, how does this work for you if you have to buy a home? Well, we can always schedule a private showing. And of course, there's video. Right now with all of our mobile devices, we have the ability to do video. And whenever I'm working with an out-of-state client, I always go and do video with them so that they can see a home. And right now for you, if your time is limited or you want to mitigate any kind of potential exposure, I can go over the properties that you are interested in. We can do some video and then limit the actual physical look to the 1 or 2 that are the best fit. Now, if you're selling your home and you're concerned about incoming traffic, well, again, there's precautions that can be taken. First and foremost, we're going to request people remove shoes. We're going to have a conversation with them at the door. Is anyone in their household sick? Has anyone in their household been exposed to the coronavirus? Do they themselves think they might have been exposed to the coronavirus? And of course, we're going to ask people not to touch anything because there is a virus going around. Other things that can be done as far as you is, things that are commonly touched, whether it's the doorknobs, the stove knobs, the handle to the refrigerator, those sorts of things, always recommend you wipe those down, sanitize them, whether you're using a Lysol spray, wipe, whatever. Just do that. And just know that as an agent, when we're going to show a property, we're going to go through open doors, turn on all the lights, and when we're done, we're going to close all the doors, close all the lights. So you just might want to do a light touch on that as well. And of course, that sign-in stations, most of us have some sanitary precautions as well with some either wipes or the gels. And even though those are out, I already had a stock of them, so I'm good. That said, keep in mind, things are still selling. And if you're buying a home, this actually could work it to your advantage because some sellers are a little concerned. Sellers that are selling in the $1.5 to $3 million price range who previously weren't necessarily willing to negotiate on price are maybe getting a little nervous or maybe worried, well, hey, if this lockdown continues or the coronavirus keeps spreading, is this going to impact us? So there is a nice window for some negotiations. For that reason, this is still a good time to buy. That coupled with interest rates, this could really work to your advantage. Now for my sellers out there, or if you're thinking about selling and you're kind of worried, should you be doing anything right now? Yes, you should. Now, if you haven't already listed your home, we're going to need a couple of days to 2 weeks anyways to get the home prepped, ready, do photos, video, and all that kind of stuff. And yes, you can still come to market. And here's what's really important to know. The buyers out right now are very serious. Not only that, but with the stock market fluctuations, a lot of people that invest in the stock market specifically to make money are starting to pull their cash out and look to real estate again, because real estate is always a solid investment. So you have some of those types of buyers out there, and they're either looking to do a step up of their home or they're looking to buy investment property, and they will purchase. So the buyers out right now are very serious. And if you've been needing to sell or on the fence, this is still a good time for those exact reasons. Now, I really want to go back to the 5 basic general precautions we can take to avoid the spread of the coronavirus. The first and foremost, we have all heard so many times, and it might seem silly, but it's washing your hands. And when they say wash your hands, they mean lather up and do the whole thing for a good 20 seconds, right? That's the count to 20. And avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, especially if you've been outside. Some people are recommending that you wear gloves, take them off. That's totally up to you. If you are in public and you need to sneeze or cough, there's that whole elbow business. Make sure you do that, because whether we realize it or not, even a sneeze projects. And so we just want to be mindful of that. If you are feeling sick, stay home. And again, that could be allergies, a sore throat, whatever. If you've got any kind of cough, stay home. And obviously, this is part of the lockdown. Avoid too much of a social crowd, again, social distancing. Now, here's something I really want to share, because I think this is important. Being that my mother is past 60 and some of my aunts and uncles are over that 60 point, and that's part of the most at-risk group. I'm very mindful of this. And so if you are having symptoms, if you're coughing, if you're having trouble breathing, don't wait. I know someone whose mother's best friends, who was in her early 70s, wasn't feeling well, was coughing. Day 1, didn't want to go to the hospital. Day 2, didn't want to go to the hospital. Day 3, she finally persuaded her to go, and unfortunately she passed. You can't just take trouble breathing not seriously right now. So if you are feeling symptoms, the best thing you can do is self-quarantine. Get on the phone with your doctor or any doctor and go over your symptoms. Let them decide if it's time for you to go in and be seen. Because if you catch this and you're young and healthy or healthy enough, you can beat this. Don't let it become something it doesn't need to be. That said, here's something else. Grocery stores are not shutting down. So all these people that have run out to hoard water and toilet paper and paper goods, it's really not necessary. You're creating an unnecessary burden on the distribution channels, which is causing these things now to get backed up for people that need them. I mean, not everybody buys 3 weeks of toilet paper at once or 2 weeks. Some of us wait till we're down to the last roll or two to go out and buy some, and now there's none. So, please be mindful of others. And some of these horrible things that I've seen of people arguing with old ladies just makes me sick. I mean, if you see someone over the age of 60, don't be selfish. Think about others. One of the things that I have seen that warms my heart is on Nextdoor. There's definitely a lot of people offering to help those that are over 60, being a good neighbor, offering to go out and get things for them. And that's the way we should be treating everybody. We are all in this together, and together we can more than survive. So hopefully this little reminder has been helpful to you. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, please go ahead and take a moment to click that subscribe button below, as well as the bell for updates, videos every week. Right now I'm averaging about 2 videos a week, and we're trying to stay on course, really to help keep you informed about buying and selling, and of course all the wonderful neighborhoods here in Los Angeles and local businesses. So be sure to tune in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Put your comments below, and I will see you next video.